It looks like the world has decided to take a 15-day breather before someone finally decides to hit the big red button. We've got ourselves a 2-week truce in this never-ending soap opera between Washington and Tehran, a ceasefire that arrived just as Donald Trump's ultimatum was about to expire. The result: the Strait of Hormuz is currently drier than a high school prom. Not a single drop of oil is moving through there. The most fascinating part of all this isn't the geopolitics, though. It's the sheer level of surrealism we've reached. Let's be honest, there was a moment the other night where we all collectively wondered, where exactly am I going to be when the mushroom cloud hits? If you had a date last night and didn't use the classic line, "Honey, it looks like the end of the world. Are you really going to say no to one last drink?" Well, you wasted the opportunity of a lifetime. Trump has officially turned the threat of global annihilation into the ultimate marketing strategy for Tinder. But jokes about the apocalypse aside, the reality is that the Orange Man has wandered into a minefield he doesn't know how to navigate. He's achieved the impossible, making the Iranian regime, those lovely folks who enjoy hanging people from construction cranes, look like the reasonable adults in the room. Iran is now in the position where they can graciously allow foreign ships to pass, while Trump throws a tantrum because his allies won't laugh at his jokes. This is where the funny part of diplomacy kicks in. Trump dives headfirst into the Iranian pool, screaming that he can handle it alone. And the very next day, he's whining that Europe isn't helping him out. Look, Donald, let me refresh your memory. NATO's Article 5 is for when you get attacked, not for when you decide to go poke a hornet's nest without telling anyone. It's like picking a bar fight and then expecting the friends you've been insulting for months to come over and get their teeth kicked in for you. And speaking of consistency, his social media activity really needs to be studied by a team of psychiatrists. In one sentence, he calls the new Iranian president a moderate genius, and in the next, he posts, and I'm barely even paraphrasing here, that they either open the freaking strait or they're going to spend eternity in hell. His advisors claim this isn't normal chess, it's 12-dimensional chess. Personally, I think it's more like a toddler playing Ludo with Monopoly rules while eating the pieces. There's just no logic to it. Meanwhile, over at the White House, the vibe must be pretty grim. Trump is so busy being Trump that he's already announced his presidential library, and it doesn't have any books. But don't worry, it will have a massive gold statue of himself, in the style of a low-budget movie dictator. He claims he's an absolute whiz at cognitive tests, solving impossible math problems while the rest of the world can't add 2 + 2. Well, let's hope he uses that mathematical brilliance to figure out how to win a war that Iran is currently winning without firing a single shot, simply by charging tolls to walk through their backyard. The whole play has been a disaster. He sent real estate developers to negotiate nuclear technology, because obviously selling a penthouse in Manhattan is exactly the same as dealing with Persian diplomats who have been outmaneuvering the West for decades. When the deal went south, he decided bombs were the only solution. The problem is, Iran has run out of strategic patience. They're tired of being played for fools, and now they're meeting every slap with a punch to the jaw. Has the president finally lost his mind? Will they kick him out before the year is up? One thing is certain. His popularity is in the gutter, with millions of people in the streets and the polls smelling like a dumpster fire. If the economy keeps tanking and the war stalls out, Trump is going to get a boot to the backside so hard that his gold statue will be the only thing left of his legacy. Iran won this round, and they did it simply by letting Donald be Donald. Because at the end of the day, you don't need powerful enemies when you're your own worst nightmare. Let's just hope that during these 2 weeks of truce, someone remembers to hide the missile remote just in case he decides to check if the nuclear button is made of gold too.